Let me link this live to my post on Facebook real quick because there is people there that want to tune into this story. Oh, see, I need to be able to change the. Let me see. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Because if I can. Okay, I was able to update it. So let me see. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me get this what you call it in here. There we go. What is up, y'all? I have the funniest freaking story. You guys, this is hilarious. People are responding like, "Are you serious? Oh my God, y'all! Come in here, y'all. Get y'all's butts in here. Where is my chat? Get y'all is in here. Oh, let me tell them that this is the live link. Y'all, this is so hilarious. Cause then they won't even know live right now. Y'all, this is the funniest freaking thing. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Y'all, I cannot wait to tell y'all this story. First of all, okay, I'm gonna wait a second. So I don't have to get up and do this again. Cause I don't see anybody in here yet. But I'm gonna give y'all my little fit check. And I really need to be recording this. I need to remember to hit record. Oh my God. So hilarious. This is truly my step country that I love so much. Y'all, I just feel like I'm so cute today though. What do y'all think? My simple my simple senegalese boo boo. Okay, let me show y'all now. You can't really hold on, let me take it off of this face thing. And then you can really see. Tell me this is not cute. Like, it's simple. I bought this like 3 years ago. That's what's funny. It's simple, but it's cute, right? You see how it fits me in the front, but then it doesn't. You see how that goes? There's like these inner, like secret little strappy thingies. And I just look like a princess. I look like a simple Senegalese American princess. Oh my God, y'all. Wait until we start this story time. This is about to be so lit. This is so funny. I couldn't wait to share this with y'all. Okay, so for those of you who have who have not been on my Facebook, then you probably don't know. Shut the hell up. Y'all, I told you. Yeah, I told y'all my lights. My lights have never done this. They've just been doing this. Ever since I got back from the States, my lights have just been doing this. I don't even know. Okay. I do know that I have been connecting with the Pleiadians in certain frequencies that do work through electricity. So I don't know. Anyways, you guys, this is so hilarious. Let me know if y'all can hear me. If this fan is not too loud, let me know where you are listening, watching me from. I hope this fan is not too loud though, because it does seem kind of loud. Okay. So if you've been on my Facebook, then you do not know that my cleaners stole from me. Okay. My cleaners stole from me, and my My cleaner stole from me, and I've never had this experience. This is a normal experience that happens in Senegal with those of us who are not from here very often. I've been here for 5 years, and I have never had this happen. I'm in local groups where women are always talking about this, and they always talk about what they have to do to get it back if they ever really get their stuff back. And I've just always been like, oh, I never, I haven't had that. I can't relate. All my cleaners have been great. We have like a real connection. One of my cleaners, y'all, this is how I know. Like my best friend be telling me that I am just too nice, which she probably just too mean. But I really do make friends with everybody because I'm probably the only American here that really be connected with my cleaners years later. I really be having a relationship with them, y'all. I just feel like if you came in my house, you cleaned my home, like, and we be going through stuff and needing to be there for each other, like it be stuff like that. So one of my cleaners, we're like really tight. It's so funny. I'm just a former cleaner from the other city that we were living in. But okay. So where do I even start with this? This is so hilarious. Look at the fan. It's like making my outfit go up. Okay, so I never had that experience. In order for me to, this is where I want to start. In order for me to explain to y'all how I had to handle this, it's a cultural lesson. And this is the reason why I'm even sharing this in the first place. Because a lot of you guys are moving here to Senegal. A lot of you guys are watching me. And because of me, you're moving here to Senegal. And if you don't know, I ran a show for 2 years with Afro Millennial Mama called Repat No Cap. And we talked about all these different things. But it's been a minute, and I'm very careful with the way that I speak about other people's cultures and things. So I don't really do a lot of videos on my experience here. I also do not want you guys to think that I am like the diaspora YouTuber that like, so I'm just real careful with that. But when it comes up naturally and when I feel compelled, then I do so, right? So again, in order to explain this situation and how we had to handle it, I have to tell you a little bit about the Senegalese culture. If you know nothing about Senegal, or if you know anything, then you probably know that Senegal is known to be a peaceful country, right? This is a country that has never had wars or battles or anything, and they are overall very peaceful. Now, it's just I just love like the differences in cultures. I also think this is going to be a good video or a good discussion because as Americans, a lot of us do not know about other cultures. We might think we do, but America has really done a good job with keeping us really closed-minded and not even really knowing how to navigate through other cultures and stuff, and like how to respect other people's cultures or things like that. So it's really interesting the way things go because you'll hear something about a country and it could be true or false, but then there's always like a way that is happening. Like there's always a connection to that. So Senegal is a very peaceful country and people are overall, keeping the peace here or whatever. But there's a little bit of toxicity to their method of peacefulness. Okay, I'm going to share. There's a little bit of toxicity. It's a little bit like the peacefulness has a little bit of narcissism and toxicity embedded inside of it. Okay, the thing is when it comes to like differences and experiences amongst each other and the way that they handle it in Senegal, you are not really allowed. I shouldn't say not really. Let me be specific and clear. Not at all. You are not allowed to blame somebody else. Like you cannot accuse anyone else. You cannot imply that someone has done anything. The only way that you can do this is if you caught them red-handed. That's it. You're not going to catch them on camera because that's not a thing here. So you have to have caught the person red-handed, or some type of magical situation where you have like, maybe let's say it's like money and someone like took it out of a bank account or something, which was my case when I first moved here. I had a couple steal over $5,000 from me. They didn't take it out of my bank account, but that's a whole thing. But I was able to take them to court without a lawyer, without speaking the language, and get my money back really fast. So that was like proof that they took it because their names were like on the stuff and, withdrawals and things like that. That's different. Other than that, though, you have to catch them red-handed with your own eyes, or you cannot accuse them of anything. You cannot imply, like it goes beyond not even being able to accuse. You cannot confront. You cannot speak up about. you cannot do any of those things that is implying or making any small indication that a person is doing something that is like foul or wrong or whatever, right? And I'm gonna give y'all an example. 2.5 years ago, when we were living in another city, I had we didn't have washer and dryer hookup, so we had people washing our clothes, and so these people would wash our clothes, and it got to the point where every time they would take our clothes, let's say 2 or 3 times a week, we would have clothes missing, right? Okay, we would have clothes missing, and sometimes we would get other people's clothes. So I knew that, okay, this is most likely an accident. Like maybe someone else is getting our clothes and vice versa. It wasn't very often that we would get other people's clothes. Maybe it happened 3 times versus our clothes that were not returning, which was happening every time that they took our clothes. And it wasn't just like one outfit, right? So after maybe, I'm going to say 2 months, could have been longer than that. And I just start to feel like, yo, like I'm just I'm just paying them to also take my clothes, whatever is happening with my clothes, because now I'm having to buy more clothes because we don't have all the clothes that I am, sending off with you guys. And over these course of these months, every week that they're taking the clothes, we're asking them to find the clothes. We're asking them to return them. Maybe once or twice out of these 6 times, there's some clothes being returned. But most of the time, all the time, the clothes are going with them to be washed and only some of them are coming back, right? So as an American, I'm like, okay, no, like, like this cannot go on. Like, what the hell? This is like crazy if I continue to work with them, and I would like to get my clothes back. Like, there's outfits that I just bought. Like, I'm literally buying my kids something, and then that's the last time I'm seeing it after we wash it. And because the culture is not about confronting and being upfront, being honest and stuff like that upfront, like all this goes into dishonesty and things like that. Like all of that trickles into that because it's how I just explained, right? So it means that people don't really want to like speak up and say, right? If you guys are not familiar with like African, Caribbean, Jamaican like cultures, like that customer service is really bad, right? Like it's a funny thing. We kind of make a joke about it. You can see comedians online talk about getting cussed out when they order stuff or when they change their order and stuff. So that's a real thing. And a part of the customer service way is because of this type of culture where nothing is confronted, right? For Americans, we are a freedom of speech type of people. We, for the most part, will speak up and we'll say what's not right. We are not a shy. We are like the country that is not shy to say what we're feeling versus places like here where you don't really speak up. Like even if you don't like the food, even if it was something wrong with it or anything, the service, you just don't really talk about it. You are just supposed to move on and just go silently, right? So I'm getting frustrated because my homeboy is telling them like, speaking for me and explaining to them like, can they stop missing clothes? Like, can y'all start returning the clothes? Like, what's happening with the clothes? But he's not doing it. Like, I know enough to know, like, when I'm hearing him, that he's being super, like, very eggshell walking, very nice about it, very, well, oh, I don't know. We don't know what happened, but the clothes, and I'm like, at this point, like, somebody is wearing our clothes. This is too much clothes that we're missing. So I take it upon myself to message them, and I use like a translation thing to make sure I was saying everything right. And I message them and I'm just like, hey, for the last few months, every time that you all take our clothes, we are coming back with a lot less clothes. And at this point, there had been like a certain amount of outfits, like clothing, that they were supposed to have found, but every single week they were just not finding it, and it was just that was it. So I was like, the clothing that we've been asking for, like if we're not able to retrieve some of those clothing, then I'm gonna have to find someone else to wash our clothes. And I was just like, I don't want to do this, but this is what I'll have to do because it's getting to the point where I am paying you guys and I'm also paying for more clothes, right? This is like, to us, to our American mind, it's like, of course, right? No. Like my homeboy called me and he was like, Dayla, did you text them and tell them that you would find another clothes washer if they didn't return your clothes because you're tired of buying new clothes and you're missing clothes? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you can't do that. He's like, you can't do that. They're so angry. They're so upset. They're so sad. Like, they just are feeling like so accusative and like it was like this whole big old thing. And I was just like, but we've been talking about this for months and I'm tired of buying new clothes. And I don't want to keep buying I'm scared to buy new clothes. Like, what can I do? Like, and he's just like, no, like you can't do that. So that was like my first lesson on knowing that there's this thing, like this is just one particular thing with clothing or like people that are serving you. But there are other experiences of me obviously knowing that this is a part of the culture where you don't really speak up, you don't really say, like you have to catch someone red-handed in the thing. And then a lot of situations that happen, you just don't talk about it. Very similar to our culture. Like, let's not act like our culture is not the same in so many ways too, because there's a lot of things that we experience and go through that we just don't talk about. But when I say everything is handled this way, I mean that, unless it's someone that's caught red-handed. Now, don't get it twisted, because if I go outside right now and somebody tries to steal my phone and I scream and we're in the moment, that person is going to get jumped. Like, this is really, I have seen this happen. I know people this has happened to. They will, if it's red-handed and it's right in the moment, then they're going to handle that. But without the evidence, and not just that, but just the fact that you just can't be confronting people and talking about, like, you can't be coming to people with your true feelings and telling the truth. It's just not a thing here, right? So because of that, as soon as I knew, now let's go to the moment of my item being stolen, okay? It was my essential oils. If you guys don't know, I am a oily mom. I only use Young Living. I have been living in die hard, just everything by Young Living. I use them for my birth. I use them every month for my menstrual and my daughter's menstrual. When my clients have muscle spasms, sometimes I get elderly clients with muscle pains and stuff like that. So this is the particular oil that I use for that. But I use all of my oils for medicinal purposes. Like, this is a big thing for me. If you know me personally, or if you've been following me for a long time, you know how I am about my Young Living oils. Like, it goes me, my kids, and then my Young Living, like, we're all here, okay? So what's so crazy about this is that I've had these cleaners come to my house for a year and there has been no problems. I never got anything stolen. I've been having cleaners here for 5 years, no problem, right? And then this girl comes with my cleaner that's been coming here for a year. They bring a new girl, and this is her second time coming. I really feel like I wouldn't have noticed her if I wasn't picking up on a thieving vibration. And I don't mean like she did anything to give me that vibration. I mean, like, just as a medium, as an empath, just as someone that just picks up energy without even knowing. One of my most frustrating things about this ability is that sometimes I feel things, I know things, and you guys have the same experience, and you'll be like, is that what it is? Is that the thing? And then you ignore it, and then the thing that you thought actually happens. So that's what ended up happening in this case. And so I see the girl a week ago. Well, this was 2 weeks ago. I see her for the first time. And it's not abnormal for cleaners to bring new girls in and out. Like, they do that. One time I had a whole staff, like just like 4 women cleaning up my house, like, and they'll like switch and bring women and help and stuff like that. So that's very normal. That's why it's so funny that she stood out to me, because I seen her. She was wiping my window one day and I noticed that I had never seen her, and I was like, oh, this is a new girl. And I was like, do I want somebody new in my house? And I was like, why am I thinking about that? Why? That's weird. Like, I just kind of went through that little thing, and it was just like a focus about her being like new, right? Y'all, this story is hilarious. Okay, so stick with me. Um, so I noticed that we go on, next week happens, they come to my house again, like maybe it was like a few days later, like 5 days later or whatever. And this time, so every time, because of the reputation and the knowing, if you have had cleaners in any of these kind of places where it's normal, Caribbeans, Africa, stuff like that, then then you know that you can get your stuff stolen. Like, you know that that's a normal thing. Like I said, like there's groups where women are talking about it all the time. So because of me just knowing that, even though I never personally had that experience, if they have taken anything, I didn't notice. And I feel like I would. So because of that, what I do every time it's time for them to come in my room is I take my camera and I hide it in this little area, and I take my laptop with me, and I like roll up certain electronics. Like it's not a lot, but I do that. I wasn't doing my charger and stuff like that until one day one of the girls asked me for it, and I was just like, no, like it was a very different type of adapter charger. So I was like, no, I'll politely, tell her she can have it. But then that kind of put on my brain like, oh no, like you want shit, like so. So after that, I was like, okay, let me wrap up my charges because just out of sight, out of mind. If they just don't see it, then it's just whatever. So that's what I do all the time. That's my routine. Okay. I did that this last week when my stuff got stolen. I did that, but this time it was different. I dead ass like went to put up my camera. I got up my laptop and I proceeded to walk out of my door, and I stopped and I thought to myself, should I hide my oils? And then myself said, why would you say that? Why would you need to hide your oils? You never had to hide your oils before. And I was like, yeah, but what if this time I should? And then I was like, nah, you don't have to do that. And I just looked like, I literally was like, I sat back down to have this conversation with myself. And I was like, nah. And then I just got up, right? I get up and I go. Now, I had just got done bringing out this oil because I got my friend a oil here, Afro Millennial Mama. I ended up getting her oil because I used hers for a client that I helped a minute ago, right? The client, we needed to use all of the oil. So I brought back one for her and I had one for me. And the day before this happened, I did a photo shoot with the oils. If you don't know, I'm still a photographer and I like to take pictures of certain things. So I wanted to write on my blog about the vitamins that I take and certain things like that. So I did a photo shoot, and I didn't do like I knew that I had like took out the oil for her, and I like switched the one I had because the one I had was open and I didn't want to take pictures of the open one. So all of that kind of stuff was going on that had happened, and this kind of messed up my brain on if I could tell at first, like, did they take it? Like, did I have, because I went back and looked at the day that I took the picture. So I would know that I did have this oil the day before, and I know that I touched the oil the day that they came, right? So all that is going on in my head. So for me to know that this is the thing afterwards, because when they finished cleaning up, my oil was gone. Okay. So I know for a fact that I had my oil before they came in my room, before they came in my house. And then I noticed the day that they left that I no longer had my oil. So I do not like to accuse. Like this is just a principle of mine. I am just the kind of person that does not like to assume. I would much rather give you the benefit of the doubt and think about other possibilities and broaden my perspective on things rather than messing with my own energy, my own frequency, and accusing you of something, right? So I thought about it and I was like, let's just relax. It's here somewhere. I just misplaced it. There is some type of really something interesting going on. I'm going to learn a lesson out of this or something like that, right? So I go through all of that, and then like 2 days later, when the oil doesn't show up, I start looking for it, like more. I was already looking for it before, but now I'm like tearing down the room. I got the kids coming in here. If you don't know, my oldest son, he has, I guess you can say like, children that are on the spectrum. He's not necessarily on the spectrum, but he has spectrum symptoms because he has a low case of Asperger's. So children who have Asperger's and certain spectrum symptoms are genius children. My oldest son is very much like OCD, very clean, very clear. He is able to, his brain has, like the way his brain is wired, he is able to see things very differently than other people. He's been like this all his life. So he can like solve a problem. Like let's say that me and a bunch of other adults are trying to figure out how to fit something into something. My son will be like 4 years old, 5 years old, and just come up and be like, all you have to do is put this with that and it'll go into that. Okay. So I'm just giving y'all context. Okay. He is a hound. He's able to find things. He's able to fix things. I just know that if I get East Island in here to help me with anything, it is done properly. Okay. Because he has this very genius ability to him. Okay. So I'm like, I'm gonna call in East Island because if he can't find it, no one can, you know? So the kids come in here. We are tearing down my room, y'all. We did this several times before I reached out to know that I'm not tripping and I know they stole my shit. Obviously, after the first time, look at my room. Like, look at my room. My room is not like big. My room is not big. It's always clean. Like, it's not even a lot of stuff. Like, you can't even really hide any or hide anything or lose anything in here, right? So I'm like, dang, are we really tripping this hard? Like, we looking under every single thing. Like, how could this be? Um, and so then now, because of the way that the culture is, remember, I cannot accuse. So that's why I'm like, please, please let me be wrong. Let me find this oil. Because I don't even want to go down the whole thing of knowing that there's going to be a bunch of lying and a bunch of, all this stuff. But I already know that this is what I'm gonna have to do. So I reach out to my friend K-Bye. Y'all know K-Bye, he's like a brother to me. First of all, hold on, go back, because this is where it get funny. I reach out to my homeboy, y'all know my day one, Ra. I've been friends with him for 5 years. Ra is normally the one that if it's not K-Bye normally, then it's Ra. People know, like, if they see me, then it's one of them with me. Everybody that I have to deal with here probably know them. So my cleaner knows Ra. And so Ra, it's funny because, like, I know which friend, which one of my brothers do I need to get to handle certain things, because it's based on their personality and how they are. And because Senegal is a culture of not confronting things, not being honest of things. I'm just speaking on Senegal, but I'm sure this is lots of Africa, just like it is for our community as well. It's just very different. Like I said, because as Americans, we speak up. We're the country of freedom of speech. Okay, so it is very different. So I know already that as Americanized, as American influence as Ra is, he's way more influenced than K-Bye is. He is so Senegalese when it comes to having any confrontation, or, like, not really confrontation, that's different, but confronting things, right? He doesn't want to, like, imply that, oh, this is happening, you did this or anything. So I kind of already know that I'm not going to be able to get him to help me with this. And I know that if I do risk getting him being the one to help me, they're probably going to be able to convince him. So I call him and I'm like, bruh, they stole my oil. And he's like, what? I'm like, yes. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. You know my deep relief. It is a huge bottle. This is what my bottle looks like. You cannot misplace this. You can't misplace this in my room. My oils, they don't leave the room. The kids know that this is medicine. We've been using this for almost 10 years. They are very familiar. You can see the oils. They're all over my room. It's just a thing. And I know where my oils be at, okay? And this is an oil that has its own box, like, literally. This is the oil that I use for my births and everything, okay? So it's very, like, you can smell it without even opening it, okay? It's loud from afar. So I'm like, yes, like, there's no way that I'm misplacing this oil. At this time, it's been like a week and a half, because, again, I didn't want to accuse them at first. I wanted to make sure. And he's just like, no, bruh, no way. This didn't, like, he's just telling me, like, he don't think they did it. And I'm just like, I don't think that the cleaner that's been coming to my house for a year, I don't think she did it. I think it's the new girl, because it's her second time coming. And I had already picked up on the vibration of her taking it. You got to know when your intuition is working. I knew after it was gone, I knew why I had sit there and had that conversation with myself. The way that it looks like, I just talked about this yesterday. If y'all tuned into my live yesterday, I literally had a 2-hour conversation with y'all about intuition and telling my story about my mediumship and my channeling, and just showing you how these things come out and what they look like, but what they actually really are. So I knew already that I was picking up on a vibration of her already stealing it, because everything is happening at once. So I had already really felt, low-key seen her stealing it, which is why I had that conversation with her. And I just knew that Rob was not going to meet me there because he didn't want to be the one to have to tell the truth and, have to confront or anything. So I could tell in his tone. I was like, okay, I'm going to call you back. And mind you, again, put a pin in that. He did not want to say that she did it. He knows the lady, and he was just like, we can't. No way. She wouldn't do this, right? If y'all are in here, if this is interesting, leave me a comment or something. Let me know that y'all listening and that this story is interesting. Okay. So then what happens? What happens? So then I call Keva. Now Keva is my guy to get the business done. Racine will like, let me see, what does Rod like? Rod just my boy. Like he just helped me with whatever I need help with. Like he'll take care of certain things, certain like pretty much everything else. When it comes to like business, when it comes to something that somebody has done, when repercussions need to be had, when a serious conversation needs to take place, when accountability needs to go down, Keva is the one. Okay, Keva is the one. Okay, I have him, and I have another homeboy, but he's not here anymore. But I can call him, and on some legal shit, he gets stuff done. Okay, so anyways, so I called Keva, and Keva already knows because this is a common thing. Okay, if you move here and you're going to live here over a certain amount of months or years, you're probably going to get things stolen from you. Okay, from your cleaners. So Keva already knows. He's laughing. He's like, "Oh shit. Okay, yeah." So I'm just like, all right, we already know that because of y'all's culture, we cannot just flat out say what we know and what we have to make it seem like this and like that. So, and also we can't even have the conversation over the phone because that can come off as rude and accusatory. So we ask her to come over so we can have this conversation. Mind you, what also was funny is that they should have been back at my house. Like, why y'all not coming to clean my house? Ain't nobody saying nothing about y'all don't miss a day. Okay. Now all of a sudden my oil is gone and ain't nobody around. Ain't nobody to be found. Like, what's up with that? Because I had already been contacting her anyway. So I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Like, she is really not coming. And then when we even text to be like, come and have the conversation, she didn't say a word. Like, she's still not saying nothing. She's still not coming. So I just texted her one morning and she ended up coming. It's like my second time. This is my third time reaching out, second time texting her. So she comes, right? We have this conversation with her, and it's so funny, y'all, because Titus, my 11-year-old, he is outside all day from morning to night. Y'all know Titus. Him and Coast are true like Senegalese children, right? They were 2 and 4 when we moved here, so they don't even really remember. Titus remembers America, but not that much, not as much as the older kids do, right? So Titus speaks way more Wolof than we probably realize. And so it's so funny because she comes in here, she has a conversation with us, and then she immediately blames my homeboy that didn't want to help me, that didn't want to blame her. He hasn't even been here. She hasn't even seen him in months. And she literally immediately blames him. And then she goes to blaming Coast, my 7-year-old. And I didn't understand what she was saying, but Titus understood her. So it was so funny because she started to blame him, and Titus like sucked his teeth and said something, blah, 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 blah. And then she was like, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, no, blah, 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 no, 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 And I was like, what's happening? Like, what are y'all talking about? And he was like, she's trying to say that Titus, now mind you, everybody know Titus in the neighborhood. Like, they love Titus, they know him. So they literally be like, where is Titus when it comes to translating stuff? So it was so funny though. It was so funny because I didn't catch her accusing him, and Titus caught that, and he was like, like they just did a whole little dialogue. And so I was cracking up. Like, that was so funny because the fact that I didn't even ask Rod to help me because I'm not going to make him do what I know he doesn't want to. He'll do it, but I just know he doesn't want to. So it's just so funny because without us even talking about it, I knew how much he was relieved that I didn't ask him to do that. And the whole time, this girl had no problem. Mind you, the culture, you're not supposed to blame people. She was not supposed to ever mention him. Maybe you can mention the kids, but you're not supposed to ever mention an adult doing it. Like, just flat out being like, you da-da-da-da, he da-da-da-da-da. You're not supposed to do that. So it was so funny because when I called Rod and told him, he was like, Man, she tweaking, man. What? He like, what? Oh, wait till I see her. He like, no, she tweaking. That's not right. I'm like, yeah, she had no problem naming you. Like, she think you did it before the girl, the possibility of the girl that she brought. So that right there was hilarious. So then we fast forward. So K-Bot tells her like to go ask the girl if she's seen it. She comes right back and says that she asked her, and the girl said no. Really, he asked her to ask her, do she have it, really? And K-Bot was just like, she didn't go ask her. Like, we know that she really didn't ask her because, again, nobody wants to say anything because it's just about, that's the culture. It's just silence, right? And so so then he's like, okay, well, since we don't know where it's at and we've looked for over a week, you don't know where it's at, the girl hasn't seen it, we're gonna have to hire an investigator. Now, this sounds extreme here, but it's not. It's really easy. It's really simple. It's really not a big deal. And it is a way that he knew it would most likely get my item back because we all kind of know that when your things are missing, if they didn't sell it or they didn't, use it up, then what they will do is they will pretend like they found it. Like this is a known thing. Like I already had my friend tell me, like, see if they can come and fake look for it and then they gonna return it. So so then he's like, okay, we're gonna have to call the police and we're gonna have to do an investigation. So he's like now the energy done changed. Like, ooh, like I can feel the energy done changed. Like she is serious now. So she leaves the house and she comes back with the girl. And we have this whole dialogue. Oh my God, we're in here for freaking 30 minutes. Oh my God. I think that was when Titus ended up having the dialogue with her. It might have been. I think that was the time that she might have tried to accuse Coast. And so I'm saying, because they're like, well, where was it? Where was it? They got me showing them the pictures because remember I did the photo shoot of it the day before. So they're like, oh, where on the desk? Like, well, and then they're like, well, the girl didn't clean the desk. They're like, it was another cleaner that cleaned the desk. So I'm like, I'm not about to play with y'all in the desk. Like, it's not about if the desk if she cleaned the desk or not. So you can't snatch nothing because you didn't clean off the place that I'm saying that I placed it last. I'm not about to play with y'all. So I'm like, no, that's some BS. It was in my room last. We've confirmed that already. They keep asking to see the picture. So then they say, like, can we look for it? And so I tell K-Bye, I'm like, well, I'm from looking at their clothes, unless the woman that I don't think took it, I think it was the girl she brought, unless she was hiding it with her. The other girl, which is a little younger, she's a lot younger than the other girl. She could not have had it on her because it just seemed like her clothes was like too thin and too slim. So I tell K-Bye, I'm like, well, I don't want to miss our opportunity of them returning it. So can they go home and go get my item and then come back and fake look for it? And he's like, oh, okay, right, exactly. Okay, yeah. So let me tell them that you got a business call or something and they won't be able, they need to come back and look for it. So it was a holiday the next day and they were trying to be like, no, 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 like we can't, I'm like, that holiday is okay. Like, it's not even a real holiday. It's the Kankara. It's like a little celebration, but they don't do it all day and it's not that big of a deal. Like everybody goes to work still and stuff. So I was like, no, like tell her to come back on Monday then and they can come look for it. And so K-Bye was like, yeah, like that's gonna give them time to think about if they really want to return it or not, right? And I'm like, yes, because I know that they have it and I know that they can just give it back to me. So, oh my God, this was so funny, y'all. They showed up today, and when they came, I left them alone. Like I'm on the phone with my homegirl, and I'm like, oh, my cleaners that took my stuff are here. And she's like, oh, you want to call me back? I'm like, no, I'm about to go out of my room so they can put my shit back. Okay. And like she started cracking up. She's like, what you mean? I'm like, they're about to put my stuff back and act like they found it. So I'm gonna give them the opportunity to do that. So I leave my room and I must say we were on the phone for like 15 minutes. Y'all. After like at this point, I'm like, okay, like, 15 minutes of fake looking for stuff. Let's speed it up. So I come downstairs and I was walking in my door and hey mama. I know, right? A camera in each room so they don't even have to be really connected either. You know how bad, see, this is what it is though, y'all. If I would have been able to catch them on camera, even that would be like, that's disrespectful. Like they would have been offended. Like that would be very offensive because it's like you are ready to accuse. Like it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Even that would have been tough. Like, how do I wouldn't even have wanted to show them the footage. Like, I would have wanted to pretend like I did not have no footage and do it this way still. That's what's funny because it's just too, like, it goes into like a lack of accountability. Like, it's, that you just don't, there's that. We'll talk about more of that, of that part of the culture in a minute. But yeah, it's crazy. So while I am walking to my front door, they are coming to the door to get me. So she's like, Dela, Kai, Kai, Kai. So she's calling me in my room, right? And she's like, regard photo. So she's telling me, like, let me see the photo. I'm thinking, girl, you done seen the photo 5 times now. I showed you the photo when you first came. I showed you the photo when you came back without her. And then when you came back with her, I showed y'all. There is not too many things that look like this. There is nothing in this country that look like this bottle of oil. How many times do you need to see this? That's what I was thinking. But I said, okay, I'm gonna show her the photo again. So I come in here, mind you, they called me in here, right? So she was ready for me to come in here. So they called me in here, and I show them the photo. They're like, oh, right? They doing all of this, y'all. Okay, they gotta really get this photo. They gotta take a mental picture of the photo of the oil. So then she's like, "Do y'all look like?" She's asking me if we look like under, like if you can see all the way down there. She's asking me if we're looking like under the shelves and stuff. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wait, mes enfants, regarde under, all of this. I'm telling her like, yes, we looked under all of this. So I'm talking about one little second. It's almost like they distracted me. I can't say if she already had it planted there or if she did it in that moment, because then the other girl comes over here. So the girl who's asked me if we look under there, she goes over here to the shelf. The girl who I know took my stuff, she goes over here and she's like, do you look up there? Like she asked me if I looked up there. And I'm like, yes, I looked up there. But then she still proceeded to try to look up there. So I'm thinking like, please don't waste your time. You supposed to stand on my table and you supposed to do this. And I know it's not up there because I know it's either at your house or you got it. So I'm talking to her to tell her, don't even waste your time. I'm like, growl. Like, don't go up there. I already looked up there. So while we're having the dialogue, girl is down here and she goes, and she's like, y'all, it was a whole play. She's like, is it? No? Like, I'm like, mm-hmm. She's like, is he? I'm like, mm-hmm. She's like, alhamdulillah. Like, she's shaking me. She doing a whole, y'all, it was a whole thing, y'all. She was on her knees down here. She was on her knees, like, I'm telling y'all, like, alhamdulillah. Like, y'all, I'm so mad that I did not turn my camera on me, because I wish y'all could see my face expression. Like, because what I'm supposed to be doing, right? I'm supposed to be playing it off. I'm supposed to be going with it, because you cannot be honest. You cannot show the real thing. You have to go with the lie. That's just a part of the culture. So I'm supposed to be like, oh, mercy. But I'm looking like, so I go, no. Like, this is how, in Senegal, this is how you say you full of shit. No, did it, no. So I said, no, did it. And she go, no. And I said, yeah, no. And she's like, no. So she's trying to show me how, like, even though, because I told her, like, we already looked up under there, like 40 times. And then she's like, she's like, no, 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 no. Like she's trying to show me how, even though y'all looked under there, y'all still missed it, you know? She's like, y'all still missed it. So then I remember that I'm supposed to be pretending I'm not supposed to be keeping it 100. So I have to say, okay, let me get into the thing, and I'm like, okay, messy, Jetta Jet. So I'm just like, messy. So she's like, she sit on my bed, she's like, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. She started praying. I'm like, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Like, y'all, when I tell y'all, they was like, call K-Bot, call K-Bot. So I called K-Bot. He didn't answer the phone. They couldn't wait to tell K-Bot. She was like, Dela. Like, basically, like, girl, you over here accusing, like, girl, you thought we took you, like, I'm like, alhamdulillah. And then she was like, it was so funny because that happened so fast. And then when she was on her way walking out, she asked me, like, okay, so what day am I coming? Like, what day you need me to clean? Like, because, obviously when this happens, then you lose work. Like, I have to find somebody else, and that's not hard to do. So that girl, she was trying to secure. I was like, oh my God, like, this is hilarious. Of course, my experience would end up being comedy to me because people be so dramatic and panicking about it. But it's like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, even if I didn't get the oil back, it is what it is. My thing be like, you don't know how to use it, At least let me show you how to use it. You might have somebody that really needs to use this, Like, oh my God, y'all. When I tell y'all that was so funny, I felt like I was in one of those old Nigerian films with bad acting. Like, it was bad acting. Like, the way she's like, like, come on. And then she, like, even after I confirmed, yes, that was it, and she did a little bit, she still was like, I'm like, girl, yes, girl, you found it. Thank you. Oh my God, when I tell y'all, me and K-Bot was on the phone rolling. I cannot wait to talk to Rob. I cannot wait to talk to him because he was like, oh no, she did it. She did it. Like, for her to just say my name, he was like, oh yeah, she took it. She got it. And then it was funny too because when it first happened, I was like, dang, I don't even feel like handling this the way that y'all handle it. Like, I know that they took my stuff. I know it was that girl. So I said, if I was handling this like an American, I would just call her and be like, girl, bring your ass over here. Like, I know you took my stuff. Like, you took my stuff. You need to bring my stuff back, But I was like, I can't do that. So I have to pretend like I have no clue and like it just been misplaced. It could be in the trash, but if you guys could help me find it, then that would be great. That's pretty much what we had to do. And and so it was funny because he was telling me at first, yeah, no, you can't handle it like that. But after I told him that she accused him, because I said, this is before that, they came to look for it. And I told him, like, today she called your name. Like, she said, I need to ask you where it's at. And the way I called him too was funny because I called him, I said, Rob, I said, look, man, if you took my oil, man, just tell me. He said, what? I said, no, I'm just playing. Like, I just like, mind you, it's a big thing to accuse somebody here. So I had already texted him and told him that she said that it was him, So me calling him like that, he was like, man, what the heck? So it was so funny because after all that happened, before she came back to fake look for it, and I still didn't know. Like, we had to wait 2 days for them to come back. So I said, you know what? I know she took my stuff. I said, and now mind you, y'all, this is how we talk. Like, I don't know if this is a Tulsa thing or this is my family thing, but we just be saying funny, crazy stuff. So I said, man, she can just keep my oil. I said, if she come here, if I could just grab her by the hair and just bop her head up against my dresser real quick, then she'll get the message. She'll stop, And he started laughing. He said, yeah, do that and do that to the other one too. Not just her, the other one. I said, oh no, because she ain't, ain't nobody took it. Ain't nobody stole it, remember? He was like, no, they took it. We need to go ahead and handle that. Like, I said, yeah, you don't like being accused, huh? Y'all need to start speaking up. Y'all need to start telling each other what y'all feel. Be honest. Like, y'all, I be out here giving whole cultural lessons. Okay, let's expand. Let's expand because this lying, this dishonesty. And I'll tell y'all, this has been so funny. And so now it's like the woman who I know that did not take it, but definitely planted it there for her to pretend like she found it. She is going to be coming back, but she thinks that I know, Mama, right? This is hilarious. She thinks that that I'm going to allow the other girl to come back, so she doesn't know. Like right now, she thinks she fooled me. Like she really thinks she got me because I had to pretend. You know, I had to, like, y'all, it's hard for me to be fake. It's hard. It's not easy. Like I was looking at her. I wanted to be like, girl, you is so full of shit. I wanted to tell her so bad. I knew. See, and y'all, see, this is what else is funny. Because a lot of y'all be in my comments on my videos and y'all be like, you don't speak, like, wow, you've been there for 5 years. You're not fluent yet. Da-da-da-da-da. Y'all just need to let people live their life. I am on the journey I'm supposed to be on. I am not supposed to be fluent. If I was already fluent, they probably would have already voted me out. Like I would probably have been kicked out the country several years ago, okay? Because I would have been saying stuff. It has been so perfect that I come in here in silence and I learn the culture and I understand the culture, like the spiritual aspect and the underlying, the bosom, okay? The bosom of the culture is what I understand without me speaking, okay? And that's what I needed. Okay. Now, recently, I am getting on my Wolof study. Like, I am starting to speak more, and that's going to happen. But I did not need for that to happen before because I would have already been kicked off the island. Okay. They would have already said, it's a wrap for her. She is talking too much. Okay. I would have had way too much to say. So, it is so important that that did not happen like that. But oh my God, yeah, this was hilarious. This was a great experience. And the fact that, oh, I think that I said that already. That she think that she got me, right? Like I had to pretend. And we've set up the date for her to come back, but she doesn't know yet that oh girl cannot come back. And in a culture like this where again, the conversations are not up front. So they will really get like the message of me not saying, like, obviously I had to thank both of them. I had to thank God with them, which is like, hold on, because that's grimy. What is you doing? Why is you sitting over here praising God, praising Allah, and you know? See? See, people boy, like that's what I'm saying, y'all. I would have been off the island already. Okay, so look, this is the thing. She doesn't know that a girl cannot come back to my house. So with me pretending like I believe that they really came up in here and found my stuff, with me pretending like that, with me coming back and saying, sure, you can come. Oh, but Fatima, she can't come. With me saying that, it's going to be a loud, like it's going to speak louder than me even just directly accusing. It's going to speak even louder. Oh, Nahana just messaged me. So, yes, that's my niece, y'all. I think my mom is still on here. But, oh, Nahana, what's up, girl? What's up, niece? Isn't this hilarious? Oh my God, this is so funny. I had recorded the conversation between me and Rod too, so I'm gonna upload a video and do the whole little thing. But it's a good cultural thing. Like I've been wanting to talk about how the culture is very peaceful. Just like we all know about Senegal being a peaceful country, but just like anything, you guys, duality is really a thing. Like there's a flip side to everything. And the truth in this place being so peaceful, and on one end of that, it being because nobody is saying anything. Like, of course it's gonna be peace. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Now, again, this is a sector to the piece. This is not all of it, because at the same time, people do be getting jumped out here. Okay, they will jump you. They will jump your grandma. Okay, if she stole money or anything, they will jump her. Okay, I have seen it. We have seen this in person. Okay, so that does happen. But I'm just saying, like, it's definitely, again, it has to be when you caught red-handed. If that does not happen and it's not seen with your eyes, then it is a very silent thing. And I feel like most of African cultures are like this, if not all. And so is the Japanese Chinese culture. There's a lot of cultures. I don't think Americans realize the freedom that we actually have. We are very much controlled by our governments, but we are not controlled by our family, like our family and the circle, or just like people. Like when it comes to communications, that's not a thing. Other countries they have a certain way of reserving themselves, and they have like these unspoken rules on when it comes to experiences happening where you would want to speak out and you would want to call things to the front. And America really is, I mean, my friends tell me all the time, like, you are not afraid to say what the problem is, like I am very much able to say, we are not going to stand for this. And if you know me, that's my personality anyway. It was so funny because when I was telling my homegirl about this earlier, and I grew up with her, she been knowing me since I was like 11, 12. So she was like, Dayla, why do this sound like when we was kids and you sitting over here like, like we are going to, because I was telling her different stories about how I've had scenarios like that, even with my friends who have been like in situations where I'm like, no, you can't be silent about this. Like, this is not right. Like, this is injustice. Like, like, oh my God, I got to come on here and tell y'all another story about, should I tell the story right now? Let me see what time it is. I need to go to bed. Let me know if y'all want me to tell y'all the story. This story is called the Chicken Sandwich Revolution. And it's about the time when me and my Senegalese American friend was accused of stealing in a store, in a predominantly white store. If y'all want to hear that story, then tell me. If not, we're going to say that for tomorrow. But I'll be out here, y'all, slanging out justice in American speech, okay? Like, that's why me and K-Rob was cracking up, because he was like, I know you wanted to, I know you wanted to call her out. I wanted to be like, if I was fluent, I would be like, look, this how we gonna start doing this, okay? Like, y'all about to stop lying, okay? I'm not about to be sitting here lying with y'all, okay? Let's just keep it a buck, like, for real. Oh my God, y'all. That is freaking hilarious. Yeah, I said, let me come on here and use this opportunity to tell this story and speak on this, because I've been wanting, if y'all didn't know, I had a podcast for 2 years where we spoke about stuff. Do y'all realize that we had Repat No Cap for 2 years? That is crazy. We had like 60 episodes of Repat No Cap. And we would talk about this kind of stuff. So a lot of stuff I haven't really shared like that. And I've been wanting to share this cultural difference, because so many things, y'all, so many things, we are exactly the same. It is hilarious how Americans that have never been outside of America, we be so gun-ho and so strong on the fact that we're not connected to Africa, and, this is not where we're from. But y'all, I wish that we could all just get a chance to come here. Like, my mind, the way that I see things, I used to be able to tell an African from an American. But when you move to a place, and that's all that you see, and you be seeing your exes and Tyrones and Keandres and everybody that look just like the people that you grew up with, you really start to not be able to tell the difference. Any Americans who live in Senegal for at least 2 years, they will tell you the same thing. We are not able to just spot out an African versus an American now, because we really look the same and we really do so many of the same things. And I remember when I first moved here, like, I remember the first 2 weeks of me being here, Shout out to my boy Ish. Ish ended up moving to Dubai. He does his YouTube TikTok thing. But Ish was in some of my first videos here. And I'll never forget asking Ish. I was like, do you feel like he's never been outside of America until now? And I mean, outside of Africa. And I was like, do you feel like y'all have a lot of similarities to us? Like, what is something that you can tell me, like, if we're really similar? This is what he said. And he said, this is all, he said, I know this is all I need to say. He said, let's put it like this, because he was like, yes, we're very similar. He was like, we do so many things the same. And I was like what? Like what? He was like, okay, let me say this one thing. He said, right now, if me and you start running, everybody who sees us is going to start running too. And the more people that's going to start running, they all going to start running. And we started dying laughing. Oh my God, it was so funny. I was like, that was the perfect, you don't even need to tell me nothing else. Like, now I get it. Like, that is how similar we are. That is how together we are, okay? Oh my God, y'all. It's kind of funny though too, because I'm not gonna get into this story too. Like, this story I cannot get into right now, because this story is deep. I'm gonna have to save this for a personal Patreon thing, or a little, like, when I get this little group or something, if I end up doing it. But when you even fight, like, like in America, when we fight, if we fight somebody, like, let's say you get into it with somebody in the neighborhood and y'all have a big old fight, right? Y'all are gonna be enemies, like, for life. Like, in our country, you guys are like, it's over with. Like, it's like Cardi B said, like, we gonna be forever, forever, ever, right? Like, we don't just make up for no reason. But in Senegal, you can literally have a whole fight, like, in the neighborhood, like, with, like, your crew against their crew, and nothing will be wrong the next day. It's like a new slate. It's like there never was any drama. It's like we wasn't just out here in this street, like, getting down. Like, it is so amazing. Like, that right there is different. I feel like as Americans, we are extremely passionate, and we are bam bam. Like, what you said, what was said, like, what was done, we not just letting nothing go. So yeah, there's some differences, and I think that's a personal Senegal thing. I don't think other African countries is doing that. Not a lot of them. I think that's Senegal, because Senegal has this taranga thing. Senegal is very much, they always are. They have taranga means welcome, like welcome home. They're very about hospitality, and you always hear them say, we are together, we are together. So yeah, they got that down, because the beef do not last. They even have a holiday, y'all. They even have a holiday that happens once a year. I forgot which holiday it is, but it's a holiday where whatever you did to somebody or whatever they did to you, you're supposed to forgive them. It doesn't matter what it is. You're supposed to, like, give your prayers to them, and you literally have this whole little exchange, and you're supposed to forgive them. Now, this is why I say I was supposed to come in here and understand the culture before I started being fluent, because you mean to tell me y'all gonna wait a whole year to forgive? We couldn't have did this yesterday? Like, okay. So that's why, because I probably would have been sharing stuff like that all the time, okay? But I'm not supposed to do that, okay? Not in Wolof, at least. I'm not supposed to be doing that. So yeah, y'all, this was my story time. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If y'all enjoyed this story, please share this live and hit the thumbs up. Give me the hearts and the things and the whatever. You can hit the super thanks button, all that good stuff. So hilarious. Let me show y'all my fit, since I'm wearing my Muslim outfit. Can you see? You can't really see it. Oh, let me go. I'm streaming on Twitch as well. I don't know how to give y'all my Twitch thing. Can y'all see it? Tell me, do y'all see it? Ooh. Can y'all see it? Okay. I had to do that. That's what you got to do when you when you put an outfit on, you put a new outfit on. This outfit is actually not new. I bought this years ago, but I never wore it. I think I wore it once. But isn't it cute? That's what I was gonna say. Isn't it cute? Like, it's so simple. It's literally nothing is going on, but it has like these little secret things. If you didn't hear me say that before, it has like these little secret straps in the middle, and it just makes it where it's like fitted. It's like I'm being a baddie, but I'm being a modest baddie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, it's nice. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. I'm gonna give y'all some time if y'all want to leave a comment, because I normally am getting out of here and then I see the comments afterwards. But thank y'all for tuning in, though. Thank you, thank you. If you are new and this is your first time seeing me, please hit the subscribe button, because why not? Why would you not subscribe to me? Like, subscriptions are free. Like, it's taking nothing from you. You should just hit the button. Likes are free, and likes let YouTube know that I should be suggested. Also, if you want to take advantage of any of my services, if you are looking for mentorship, or you want to do an MDR session where I take you into parallel realities, if you want to speak to your soul team, if you would like to quantum leap into your desired future to bring it back to you, which truly, seriously, absolutely, really, really works, you can go to my website, earthischool.com, and you can read my reviews and check out more. All right, you guys. I love y'all. Peace out.